Alright, so we have short notice replacement. Sean Soriano was a UFC before this. I think he had 3 fights, 0-3, got cut. He's coming back to verse Christos Giagos. I'm gonna have trouble saying that name. I'm just gonna go Christos. Christos, yeah, that's alright. So Christos, he'll frequently switch stance, and he's more of a wrestler. Sean Soriano, he is more of a boxer. I like his stand up. He's got crisp boxing, crisp hands, and he mixes in the low calf kicks quite nicely. Probably his main weapon would be the low calf kick. And Christos, he likes to get in the pocket. He likes to make it close, just so he can, work his takedowns pretty much. He'll go for the left hook in the pocket, but basically, he's looking for an overhand right to set up that double leg, and that's where he really wants to fight. And on the feet, yeah, Soriano, he has a nice counter 2, 1-2, 3-2. As I said before, crisp hands. Definitely got to give him the advantage on the feet. And yeah, so this is where Christos wants it to be, is in the grappling transitions on the mat. He sets up his takedowns well with that right overhand, as I said before. He's got a nice blast double, will really drive through it, drives through that double leg all the way to the fence, really wants to take down, pretty tenacious with his takedowns. But, he can telegraph them later on in fights when he does get tired, and he does get tired. And yeah, he'll look to take the back if you look to turn away from him, or you look to just give your back pretty much to get up to your feet, and he'll just look to control from there, look to trip you down, or he'll take the back, get his hooks in, but he's more of a transition wrestler instead of like a control guy on the mat. But he can, try and too hastily take the back or too hastily get him out. And it does leave him on bottom often, or just back onto the feet, so he's lost the position, just because he was trying to be a little too aggressive and, just didn't set everything up properly. For Soriano, he's got a bit of grappling as well, a bit of offensive grappling. He'll look to clinch when pressured near the fence. Pretty much if you pressure him really hard, he's going to look to clinch up. And he'll look for the body lock from there, outside leg trip, or he'll look to clinch knees to the body. If he does get you on the mat, he'll just look to sit in half guard and lane ground and pound. So he's more of a control guy once it does get on the mat. Alright, so how these guys win fights. So for Giagos, Jesus, he's got a good chin, got good takedown defense when he isn't gassed. For Soriano, he's got nice leg kicks. I really like that he's implemented them as a game plan instead of just throwing them every now and then. He's also got one punch KO power. Everyone looks like that in the regional scene, but you can tell this guy does have a bit of raw power. And he also seems like he has pretty decent anti-grappling. I say seems because he hasn't been facing the highest level of competition lately in the UFC, but it looks good, and he's been facing decent competition for the regional scene. And how these guys lose fights, so for Giagos, it's that he gasses after 1.5 rounds. And it's more of a pacing issue, honestly. He just goes super hard in round 1, doesn't leave much left in the tank for the rest of the fight. And for Soriano, it's the grappling tendencies, in particular, the fact that he just gives his back pretty much every time to get back to his feet. And, Giagos will take the back. He's not a huge back taker, but he has looked to take the back in the past. And, 3 of Sean's 6 losses are from rear naked choke, so you can just tell how much he gives up the back, but yeah, it's something he's got to work on. Because we're winning a lot of these fights, he just gives it away. So path to victory for these two. So for Christos, look to pace yourself, really, pace yourself. Sean's not a huge volume guy. Just look to pace yourself, don't go too crazy. Just set up your takedowns well, and then really commit to one takedown. And look for the double leg over a leg kick, because he's going to be throwing the leg kicks, that's for sure. And look to get in top position, get in half guard, look for top control, take the back if he looks to, give it up to get back to his feet. And for Sean Soriano, keep it away from the fence, set up your leg kicks just so he isn't going to shoot over, over a random leg kick. And just look to tee off on the fence when he's gassed, so late round 2, round 3. In the grappling aspect, no knees when he shoots, just look to defend, just look to stuff the takedown, because you have got yourself in trouble in fights that you were winning before where you went for a straight knee to intercept the takedown attempt, but, it missed. It's a low percentage move. It's a devastating move, for sure, but it's a low percentage move, so just look to stuff the takedown and get out of there. Especially later on, look for your own takedowns. Like, he doesn't have the best takedown defense when he's gassed. Look for double unders in the clinch for the outside leg trip, get some top control from there, win some minutes. But yeah, so how I see this fight going. So, on tape, Soriano, he looks very solid to me. what you'd expect from a UFC vet on the regional scene. I've never been really impressed with Christos as well. I think Soriano has the better stand-up and should be able to stuff most of the takedowns of Giagos. And I think Giagos, even though Soriano is coming in on short notice, he's going to gas before Soriano. And I don't think Giagos will be able to do much on top anyway, unless Soriano gives his back, which is always a danger with these guys. Especially if people have done it in the past. It's just a habit, so he does have that habit, which is concerning. But Giagos not a huge back taker. And, Sean should be able to take over once Giagos gasses after a round and a bit. So I do think, Soriano should win this one. Yeah, so as you can see, we're on Paramatch again. The line isn't out on best fight odds. So, yeah. Giagos, moderately sized favourite, which I don't agree with at all. I've never been impressed with Giagos. He's never really wowed me with a performance. And yeah, I think Soriano's just kind of better. He's just a better fighter. So anything above $1.75 or minus 135 is what I'm going to look to bet Soriano with. And if he's the dog when the prices come out in Australia and, the US, then I'll definitely look to bet Soriano there at that price. I do think he wins this fight around 60% of the time. So I think the line should be basically flipped. And for a prediction, I think he gets it done by decision.